Boys and girls, it's time for another episode of The Wretched Wrench. Today, we're doing the Chevrolet Performance System. It's episode 3, Selling Systems. To the 3 people that have been watching this series, thank you very much. I appreciate that. If there's 3 more people out there that happen to be watching this series, hit that like button and subscribe. I need at least 6 watchers. Thanks, and enjoy the show.
There are several types of selling systems that most Chevrolet dealerships use. The straight sell, the turnover or TO, or a combination of both, the team approach. Whichever you use, it's important that your selling system covers the major steps of prospecting, greeting, qualifying, presenting the product, giving a demo drive, and negotiating the price. You should also have written procedures for your salespeople and train them as needed. This will assure that you are working in oneness, using the same procedures and form. First, let's hear what Dave Douglas has to say about the different types of selling systems, their advantages and disadvantages.
One is a straight sell approach to selling automobiles, and the other is a TO or turnover type of selling system. Essentially, with straight sell, there's generally one sales manager and several salespeople reporting to one manager. Now, the advantage of straight sell is that there's usually one salesperson that greets the customer when he walks into the showroom floor. He determines his needs, does a good presentation, demonstrates the car, obtains an initial offer to buy, closes his own deal, and delivers the car. Now, the primary advantage of the straight sell approach is the rapport built between that salesperson and the customer so that the salesperson can seek repeat and referral business after the sale. The disadvantage to a straight sell approach to selling cars is that generally a salesperson is a one-man operation.
Another type of selling system is the TO, or turnover. Dave Douglas explains how the TO system works.
Now, generally the initial salesperson walks up and greets the customer and takes them through the steps of the sale, up to the point of demonstrating the car. Some systems have the salesperson get an initial offer. Sometimes they turn it directly over to a manager. If the first salesperson can't sell the customer a car, then he turns them over to the next salesperson. If that person can't sell the customer a car, then he turns them over to the next salesperson, hence where the name TO or turnover comes from. The primary advantage of TO is that a second face involved in closing the deal is a strong psychological advantage in our favor. The disadvantage is the salesperson leaving the customer, never seeing him again. We lose the rapport that was built between that salesperson and the customer, and so it's very difficult to follow up that customer and seek repeat and referral business. Sometimes TO has a tendency to be high pressure on our customers too, which can leave a bad taste in the customer's mouth.
We've seen many sales managers combining the advantages of the straight sell and the TO in a team selling approach. After the salesperson gets an initial offer, he takes it to the control desk for approval. At this point, the team captain or team sales manager is called in to help.
The team sales manager sits across the desk from the customer, and the salesperson sits right on the side of the customer. Now, there's some psychology that works to our advantage here. Essentially, it's the sales manager's job to close the deal at this point, and he's speaking with authority. The salesperson is sitting on the customer's side, and that psychology works to our advantage at this point to have the customer feel like that salesperson is still on his side. If we consummate a deal, the salesperson takes the customer to the business manager to arrange finance and insurance and to sell the after-sale items. Then the salesperson still delivers the automobile.
The team approach combines the advantages of both TO and straight sell.
We take the advantage of straight sell in maintaining tremendous rapport between that salesperson and customers, so that salesperson can seek repeat and referral business. And we also take the advantage of TO, which is having a second face involved in closing the deal, which again is a strong psychological advantage in our favor.
In the team approach, the team manager has great motivation to train and coach his salespeople to help them be successful.
Well, in the team environment, a team sales manager is paid based on the productivity of his 4 or 5 salespeople. So that forces him to be a good people manager and coach to make sure that his salespeople are good in their selling skills and product knowledge and what they're doing out on the floor. I think it's terribly important to spend a lot of time with the team sales manager, training him to be a good people manager, to be a good coach, to be a good trainer in his own right.
Dave Douglas recommends the team approach for larger stores. However, the size of your market or your dealership may not support the team system. The key is to use a system that works best for you and your dealership. No selling system is effective unless your salespeople use it consistently. Tex Pritchard tells us how to make your procedure work.
First of all, teach your fundamentals. Teach your people not only what to do, but why they do it. See, they're going to question you. And I find that total communication is very important. If you're going to get the salesman committed to doing your procedure, tell them why you're doing it and close them, sell them on the idea. You know, that's a major point. Another thing is to police your procedure and install the discipline. Be sure there's discipline within that procedure. Now, I think another very important area, your procedure must be in total oneness, no exceptions. And I want to repeat that, no exceptions. You can't have prima donnas. You can't let some people do one thing because of special exception and expect everybody to work the same way.
Using a selling system is another way of concentrating on your high payout activities. That is, the ones that sell cars and trucks and increase profitability for your dealership. The retail management personnel and consultants we interviewed agree that consistent use of floor control and selling systems are essential to capitalize on every sales opportunity. John Spinato from M.J. Sullivan Chevrolet asks these questions routinely. Let's hear how he assesses his dealership's floor control and selling systems.
Are we greeting them properly? Are we putting the right figures on automobiles? Are we giving them the product knowledge that we need to tell them? Are we displaying the car on the showroom floor by opening the hoods, the trunk, showing them all the little features that our car might have that the others don't? The other is, if we don't close them at that point, are we TOing the people to the manager that was involved in the deal? And then if we don't close them at that point, do we follow them up the proper way? Floor traffic control means a lot of things, especially having a meeting every day. That's part of floor traffic control, to put together the things it needs to sell that automobile. Did the manager that appraised the car put the right numbers in the car? Did the salesman call him back? Were we showing him the right car?
Does your floor control system allow you to track each prospect effectively? Does your selling system cover the major steps in making a sale? Do you have a written procedure covering your selling system? Is it available to all your salespeople? Do you provide adequate training that covers all phases of the selling system? Do you ensure that demos are available and that your salespeople are offering every customer a demo drive? Do you coach sales personnel in negotiating sales agreements and assist in closing when necessary? Finally, do you use the Silver Medallion new vehicle inspection and delivery process? As you give these issues some thought, consult the action guide for additional information about this or the other important topics in this module.
We believe in trying to sell ourselves, as we believe that Chevrolet has the ability to sell the car. We're going to try to sell our store, ourselves, and the people that work in it. That's our philosophy clear through.
There's an area called advertising, and I think a lot of people drudge the fact that you have the newspaper people coming around once a week, and you have to give them something to put in their paper.
Standard number 9 of the Quality Sales Manager Professional Standards calls for the sales manager to assist in developing and executing advertising and promotion plans. Experts advise that the first thing you must do to make your advertising effective and successful is to create an identity for yourself. It might be low price, service, convenient location, wide selection of models, or almost anything else that sets your dealership apart as something special. Once you've established your identity, you should back it up through constant repetition. William Wrigley, one of the greatest advertisers of all time, believed in utter simplicity. Chew Wrigley's gum. That was all he said, but he said it over and over and over again. There are many opinions on advertising. Everybody's an expert, but everybody agrees on the basics. The essential elements of advertising are the voice, which is the medium through which you'll reach your audience, and the message, which is what you say to them. There are many different types of media, and we're going to discuss the pros and cons of each type a little later. First, let's discuss the message, the content of your advertisement. The first and most important element of the message is consistency. Maintain an identifiable reason for customers to come to your dealership instead of going somewhere else to buy. In other words, a consistent message that communicates lower prices, better service, a more convenient location, a wide selection of models, a quality image, or almost anything else that sets your dealership apart as something special. Next, each ad should concentrate on some particular reason to buy now. The reason could be price. You're offering special models at new low prices. It might be availability. You have the largest stock of station wagons, four-wheel drive vehicles, or light-duty trucks in the area. It might be immediacy. You're having a sale, and the sale will only last a certain limited length of time. Those are the basic principles of the message. Now let's consider the voice. That is, the medium in which you will place your message. It's important to have a good media mix. Don't concentrate all your advertising in a single medium. Each one, radio, newspaper, television, outdoor, and direct mail, has its own advantages and disadvantages. Radio's chief advantages include its relatively low cost, the fact that copy can be altered up to airtime, and the economy of production. Further advantages are the extremely high frequency of messages delivered, the fact that radio is available to everyone, and that your commercials can be targeted to particular markets. For example, sports buyers, like Camaro purchasers, are young and listen to rock and roll stations, while older Caprice buyers are reached with news or middle-of-the-road stations. Among the disadvantages are lack of visual illustration in the message, the fact that listeners can switch from one station to another merely by the touch of a finger, and the further fact that it may require several stations to reach a desired group. Television has tremendous visual impact through its unique combination of sight, sound, action, and color. It's the nearest thing to an in-home demonstration. Many dealers rely heavily on television advertising. One of these is John Lancaster, a dealer in Madison, Wisconsin.
In a survey recently conducted by Chevrolet, customers were asked why they bought from John Lancaster. Of 10 possible answers, customers chose low price and dealer reputation as their main reasons for buying from John Lancaster. Low price, dealer reputation. John Lancaster Chevrolet.
Because of his size and location in the center of the market, all of his viewers are potential customers. But for many of you, this is not true. With television, you may be reaching a great multitude of people who will never come into your place of business, so your money is wasted. Television may not be practical for small dealers because of its relatively high cost, both for production and airtime. Also, it may not be practical for dealers who are too far from the broadcast station and get a weak signal. These factors can make television less cost-effective than some other media available to you. Outdoor advertising has much the same visual appeal as television, though of course on a much more limited scale and usually without the advantage of action. It's excellent for image building, for impressing your name on the public mind. If the billboard is located in the right place, it will be seen by the same viewers over and over again, building strongly on the power of constant repetition of impact. From a negative standpoint, billboards are not practical for timely events. They're limited in content and cannot carry your total message, only a small part of it. Research has shown that anything more than 7 words are lost on a billboard. Remember, too, you have to say what you sell, not just Suburban Motors. Also, billboard advertising must be supported by other media to be effective. Newspaper advertising offers a wide choice when it comes to investing your advertising dollars. From the large metropolitan dailies to the small community publications, it offers many important advantages, including low cost, wide coverage, and the fact that the ad can be cut out and saved. Among the several other advantages of newspaper advertising is the fact that so much can be packed into a single ad. Price, terms, interest rate, warranty, service, etc., in addition to model, style, color, and equipment. Anyone who is interested in buying a car or truck can turn at once to the advertising section to see what's offered. The greatest advantage over radio and television is that anyone interested in buying a car or truck can set his own time to read the ads. This is not true with radio or television. With these media, you have to be there at the time the ad is broadcast, or you'll never see it. One disadvantage is that your ad may appear with many others by competitive dealers and could lose some of its impact. You have to be really creative to make your ad stand out from the crowd. Direct mail advertising has the advantage of selectivity. The message goes only to persons considered to be good prospects. There's much less wasted circulation. It can be personalized by addressing the recipient by name. It's not limited in space and format. It is effective, but only if it's personally followed up with a call by a salesperson. Disadvantages include its cost. It is expensive, and there is the danger that it can get lost in the shuffle of other advertising matter that is delivered to the mailbox. Here's Clint McGee with some guidelines on what makes a good ad.
There are 8 essentials of a good ad. Number 1, make your ads easily recognizable and distinctive. And what I would suggest is that you use the bow tie as a border around your ad. And I do that every time. It's like a logo, okay? The people see that bow tie around the ad, little bitty bow ties all the way around the ad, and you do it that way every time. They're going to say, well, there's John Q. Chevrolet dealership. Number 2, use a dominant element, okay? A strong headline or a strong photo or a picture of a person or a picture of a car. 3, make it simple. Use a simple layout and don't get tricky or clever or cute. Make it easy to read. 4, use a prominent benefit headline and appeal to the basic desires of what people want. And there are 5 of them. Number 1 is safety. Number 2 is leisure. Number 3 is thrift. Number 4 is popularity. And number 5 is beauty. Take those things and put 2 or more of those things in every ad you run, okay? Number 5, 8 essentials for a good ad. Number 5 is let the white space work for you. Don't try to crowd the ad up. Don't get it too congested. Make it easy to flow and easy for the person to read the ad. Okay, 6, make your copy complete. Give benefits and support those benefits with product points. Use copy blocks and not random words. 7, always promise savings, okay? Explain why your product or offer represents a good value. And number 8, urge your reader to buy now. Ask for action. Ask for the sale.
There may be other essentials to consider,
There's an area called advertising, and I think a lot of people drudge the fact that you have the newspaper people coming around once a week, and you have to give them something to put in their paper. And we handle it a little different here. We try to come up and create promotions, come up with different ideas. We get all our people involved in it. And for the end of the month sale, for instance, we'll sit down and talk about it for a day or two. We put it together, we've talked about it with everybody in the organization. We're excited. We believe that the advertisement we're going to put on TV or radio or in the newspaper is really going to work for us. And when the customers come in, irregardless of why they came in, the salesmen believe in their advertising. They know what's going on, they know what's going to happen, and they expect it to work. And you know what? When you believe in it, it does work.
We've heard some useful guidelines on the basics of advertising and on the advantages and disadvantages of various types of media. Now let's consider something else: sales promotions. Sales promotions represent a powerful selling force. They create traffic, put the dealership in the spotlight, produce sales, and in addition, there's another value, not so readily recognized. Sales promotions are good for your own people. They make them feel that something's going on, that the managers are on the ball. People like to work at a place that's alive and exciting. Salespeople have been known to leave one dealership where they felt that nothing was ever going on and signing up with another where things were happening. So good promotions can actually have a strong, positive effect on sales team retention. And you know how important that is. Sales promotions to build traffic and stimulate sales can be of many types, but the one constant of successful promotions is they must be planned. Here are the 8 steps to effective planning. The goal. What do you expect to accomplish with the promotion? The audience. Who are you trying to reach? The timing. When should you hold your promotion and how long will it last? The stock. Do you have enough of the product you're going to promote in stock? The budget. How much will the promotion cost, and will the results justify the expense? Involvement. Who's to be involved in the promotion? Who's to do what? Are all of your sales and/or service and parts people aware of the promotion? Exposure. What kind of advertising will be required to announce your promotion? And finally, evaluation. When it's all over, how many additional sales did you generate? Was the return worth the expense and effort? If it was, you might consider doing the same thing again. If not, chalk it up to experience and learn from your mistakes. Another measurement key for advertising and promotion is the sales manager ensures that the department sales staff is fully informed of the promotions before they are implemented. This requirement has wide agreement among our experts.
Now, when you get ready to run an ad, you've got to communicate with your salespeople. You've got to tell them what's taking place, what you want them to do, how you want them to do it, and what the results you expect to get out of it.
One of the most important factors that we do is when the ads hit, 3 days before, we will discuss with the salesman what we are going to be advertising. More places I find that we'll put an ad in and we'll never tell the salesman until the day it hits and the customers come in and read it and the salesman didn't even know about it.
This is important. The salespeople must see the copy for the ad before it appears in the papers or on the air so that they're prepared to act when customers come in and make references to the ad. Salespeople must also be informed of what the factory is planning. If Chevrolet is bringing out a new model car or truck, or if it is sponsoring a new television show or a sports activity, the sales team must be advised in advance so they don't look foolish when customers mention the activity. Tell them about forthcoming events at your regular sales meetings, or mention it to them on the floor. Another of the measurement keys for this standard reads, the sales manager has procedures for evaluating the effect of merchandising and promotional activities and uses this information in selecting future activities to achieve sales objectives. Clint McGee comments.
Now then, how can we find out if the results that are there was created by the advertising? I will strongly recommend to you that if you do not have a floor control system that does not measure why the people came in the door, that you get one right away. A salesperson or a greeter should find out why the people came in, and you can do that on the initial meeting and greeting. By the way, Mr. Smith, what brought you in the dealership today? He'll tell you either referral, or I bought a car here before, or I like your reputation, or your advertising. Now, if you find out that your advertising didn't pull those people in, you know, I'd either change the ad or cut out some of my advertising, because you've got to have results. If the ad does not produce results, you wasted your money.
Tying in your local advertising with Chevrolet national promotions or selected markets is the subject of the first measurement key. The sales manager knows sales promotion materials available from Chevrolet and recommends activities that coordinate local programs with national promotions. Clint McGee recommends capitalizing on Chevrolet advertising.
Also, I would coordinate all of my advertising with anything that Chevrolet is doing nationally. The only thing you can do is help you. Rather than you try to do it by yourself, Chevrolet is spending millions. Just get on their coattail and just do the same thing they're doing.
Tying in the theme of your own local ad with that of Chevrolet promotion multiplies many times the initial power of your ad. When the prospect sees or hears the Chevrolet theme on television, radio, and in newspaper and magazines, he's definitely impressed. When he sees or hears the same advertising idea repeated in a dealer's local advertising, the original impact is doubled. Chevrolet also provides merchandising promotions and sales incentives. Measurement key number 4. The sales manager uses manufacturer-developed product promotions, sales incentives, contests, and recognition programs approved by dealership management. Each of the programs and promotions offers
Well, that's all this disc would give me, but I tried. Until the next episode, thanks for watching.